Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode from Symbology Enterprises. Today we talk about Honeywell and Barcode Duplicator. Welcome to Tyler and Craig. Thanks for joining the show, fellas.
Well, thanks for having us.
Craig, for those who aren't familiar with Symbology Enterprises, tell us a little about the company and the types of problems you solve.
Well, we don't solve problems. We find solutions, first of all. We have been around for 35 years, and we help solutionize for printing and barcoding and scanning needs for all industries.
And since you've been around for so long supporting barcoding and labeling and data collection, what are the most common workflow challenges you see companies struggling with today?
Well, a lot of it has to do with manual data entry. A lot of people are still using paper pencil or even outdated DOS systems for inventory management. It causes a lot of mistakes.
And what makes labeling and barcode data so critical in a modern warehouse, manufacturing, or distribution environment?
Well, it removes a lot of the human error, as you could just scan into your inventory management system, scan into a spreadsheet, scan into anything you want, really. And it allows for it just to be a lot easier. It removes, as again, human error, poor handwriting, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we know time is very important. Where do most companies typically lose the most time or money when their labeling processes aren't optimized?
Well, if things are incorrectly labeled, that will cause them to scan the wrong item, which causes, them they could ship the wrong item at that point, which return, loss of inventory that way. Wasting of labels is always, of course, a big thing. If you have the wrong item, wrong labels wrong, you're wasting labels. That's going to waste money and waste time.
Tyler, let's talk a little bit about Barcode Duplicator. What exactly is it?
So Barcode Duplicator is just a kit that comes with a printer and a scanner, and that allows you to duplicate a barcode without a computer.
And what inspired you to create Barcode Duplicator in the first place?
Customers had always been coming to us with just needing to create one more barcode, duplicate a barcode, and the way to do that with little overhead is the Barcode Duplicator.
And give me examples of like what specific problems they're trying to solve that existing solutions can't.
So it's simplified scanning and printing of a barcode that's duplicated from a product that you already have. It creates a low-cost solution. It minimizes user errors. It's very simple to use, and there's no computer or printing software required.
Yeah, let's touch on that. No computer. I think it's one of the most unique things about Barcode Duplicator is it doesn't need one. Why is that such a big deal?
That is a huge deal because when you have a duplicator, you don't need the PC. The PC can cost around $400 to $1,000 depending on the computer. And you also don't need the labeling software that's on the computer. So you can save monthly costs.
And walk us through how the solution works.
The solution works by loading a file into the printer and the scanner, and that allows the scanner to call to the printer and send the information, and the printer prints it out in the selected format.
And why Honeywell? I mean, why the Honeywell hardware for this solution?
The Honeywell hardware, because the Honeywell has a great durability for inside and outdoor environments, production and industrial environments, as well as they're great at reading damaged or dirty barcodes.
And we know that manual data entry is risky. How does the system help eliminate manual data entry and reduce errors?
So it completely gets rid of all manual entry. Everything is scanned and sent directly to the printer.
Huh. And can we use this in mobile and desktop?
Yes. So there's the RP4, which can be paired with something like the Granite scanner, and that allows you to connect via Bluetooth to do mobile or stationary.
And what types of businesses benefit most from Barcode Duplicator?
All types of businesses. So it's basically every business. just using inventory, repackaging products, packaging products, shipping products, libraries for their books on the outside of their the casing, as well as blood banks for keeping track of sensitive data.
And let's dig a little bit deeper into some of those customer stories. Can you share with me an example of how a manufacturer is using Barcode Duplicator today?
So we have a global engine manufacturer, and they take the serial number from the barcode that's on the finished product, and they scan it, place it on the outside of the box, so that way they do not need to open the box to know what's inside. They can just scan the outside.
Wow. And one of the other stories that I found fascinating involved the trailer manufacturing and RFID. Tell us more about that project.
With that project, it was for tracking their trailers through the manufacturing process, and that uses the serial number that was placed in the trailer at the beginning. They duplicate that serial number, and from there, it's encoded with RFID, so that way the fixed RFID scanners can scan the product as it moves.
And what are some warehouse applications where people immediately see a return on investment?
So anywhere that has a big warehouse that has tons of product in bulk, they would be able to use the duplicator to scan individual parts and put them on the outside of the box, as well as get it into their ERP. The duplicator in warehousing is usually used with packing slips to duplicate their identifiers for the shipping department.
And we all want to reduce labor costs and improve productivity. Have you seen companies benefit from reduced costs?
Yes, many companies have reduced their costs by reducing human error, as well as just quick processes, easily scannable and printable without a workstation.
Yeah. And what usually surprises customers most when they start using it?
What usually surprises people most is that it's super easy to use. It takes no training, and it allows efficiencies throughout the entire process.
And rather just talking about it, can you show us how Barcode Duplicator works?
Yes. So here we have a Honeywell Xenon scanner, and then we have a PD45 industrial printer. From here, all I have to do is scan the barcode, and it reprints the duplicated barcode. This can be done with damaged barcodes, reprint barcodes instantly, and there's many use cases where this would be good for processes.
Man, it just sounds insanely super easy to use.
Yes, it's super easy. Again, just and done.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit more about the Honeywell hardware. Craig, you've worked with many different hardware platforms. Why Honeywell?
Well, Honeywell is a trusted brand throughout manufacturing and Fortune 1000 industries. Ease of use. The products are very easy to use. They're very durable, and they last a long time as well. Like I said, they're trusted by many brands, by many companies already. So well known.
And what makes Honeywell scanners particularly effective in barcode application workflows?
Like I said, a lot of it is with their durability. They could be used in different environments. And as Tyler mentioned, we have Bluetooth and cabled ones, which could be used many different ways. As he said, these two are used for Bluetooth to do it like an outside mobile environment, or as we use the industrial, and the wired one will be more of an inside environment.
Yeah. And I know a lot of customers struggle with damaged, dirty, or partially obscured barcodes. How important is scan performance when labels are damaged like this?
Well, that's the whole original design of a barcode duplicator, was to solve this problem. People came in with dirty or somewhat teared labels, and you needed to scan them and replace them. With the way the Honeywell scanners work, they're able to read these dirty or damaged barcodes much better than the other guys, and which allows for this application to be to work so well.
Yeah. And can you explain the close the lid and print experience that Honeywell auto calibration provides?
Of course. So when you're putting new labels into the printer, all you have to do is close the lid, and it will automatically calibrate how many the size of the label. It will spit out one label, and it will automatically have the right size. Unlike the other guys that usually takes 4 or 5 blank labels to get the right size.
And how do rugged devices change the game for warehouse and manufacturing ops?
Well, as the granite, which we're talking about, the scanner, it could be dropped. It could take a beating. These industrial mobile printers as well have very high drop in industrial ratings. If you're talking about their mobile computers, that there's ways with Honeywell that will stop it from upgrading right away. You keep your data secure and in your 4 walls. You don't have, it's also a way to lock down random apps so nobody's on Snapchat on there or Instagram on their work device.
So Craig, let's talk about future trends. There's a lot of discussion around GS1 Sunrise 2027 and the move towards 2D barcodes. What should companies be thinking about right now?
What they should be thinking about is the perfect barcode solution. If you do not have barcoding in place for the 2D, you will not be able to be compliant for the GS1 Sunrise. With the Barcode Duplicator, we could take your regular barcodes, you scan it, and it will duplicate as a 2D barcode, which, as I said, will get you ready for the compliance. So it's always better to be ahead of the game, and the duplicator will help you get there.
Yeah, that's awesome. What trends do you see in warehouse automation, traceability, inventory management? Where do you think labeling technology is headed over the next 5 years?
Everything, like every other industry, it's AI right now. AI is the big push. A lot of things, we think the scan is going to end up being more of a multi-scan. You'll either take a picture or scan all your products, and using AI, it will break down the individual products, parse it out to where it needs to be, and put it in your inventory management system or, as I said, spreadsheet. A lot of people are still using.
Yeah, and as we start to wrap up here, for a company, if I'm the leader of a company that's still relying on spreadsheets, manual entry, disconnected systems, what's the very first step towards modernization?
It is barcoding. As we've been saying, it stops so much of this manual human error data entry. Because if everything is printed on the barcode, all you got to do is scan it, and it goes, and you can find that data so much easier and store that data easier. With your inventory management systems, of course, is you have it integrated with that, and that makes everything go smoother.
Yeah. And what's one labeling or barcode mistake that you see companies making over and over again?
It is forgetting to implement labels at the start. Leaving it for last minute is always the thing. People forget that labeling is very important. And by the time they have their new system up and running, if they forgot labels, how are they going to ship out that day? There's going to cause delays and issues. And so you always need to remember labels are the most important thing.
Yeah. And where can people go to learn more about Symbology Enterprises and schedule a consultation?
Well, to learn more about the basic principles and how Barcode Duplicator works, you can always go to www.barcodeduplicator.com, and you could email us for a quote and more specific questions that you may have by sending an email to sales@symbology.net.
Well, that's great. Fellas, thank you so much for being on the show today. I think we learned a ton about why the Honeywell Barcode Duplicator solution is a great solution for clients. Thanks for being on the show today.
Welcome, Joe. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. And join us next time when we talk about Label Anything and printing labels directly from Salesforce.